Welcome to the Livio Candy's Music All-Stars Internet TV show with show host Steve Murray, brought to you live from the ISW's TV studios and Soundstage Theater on the sunny Atlantic Florida beach. Now here's your show host, Steve Murray.
Welcome to Livio Candy's Music All-Stars. Today we have videographer Scott Boggs. How you doing, Scott?
Good to see you.
So you've been going around recording all the bands.
Yeah,
around the neighborhood, and
I was sitting at the anniversary of a good friend of mine's death and thinking about how the fact that there just was not any good video of him, and how we have some of the best musicians in the world right here in Brevard County, and I had no choice but to start
talking about.
Start documenting them.
Yeah,
and it was just a labor of love.
Luckily, you got some.
I've gotten some unreal footage of some unreal musicians here.
I never knew the guy because I came here afterwards.
And I've gotten video of you and lots of other bands, and I've enjoyed what I'm doing.
Yeah, I think it's great.
I'm getting better at it, and I'm actually...
Bands, you better practice, because if he's
there... Yeah, and I'll tell you something else. Like, all the bands in Brevard County, y'all are some of the best there is, but I can only capture what's coming out to the audience, okay?
Yeah, this is true.
The thing I got to say about all of it is I'm getting better and better at it, but I know I'm going to run into a wall, so I'm actually going to start college at 51 years old and learn how to do it the right way, so I can start getting some of this.
Yeah. Great thing going back to school for this. Huh? You know, 51 years old.
Yeah, and it's a labor of love. I enjoy doing what I do.
I know, you're out everywhere. I mean, all the time. You're always telling me, oh, I'm going to be here tonight, I'm going to be there tomorrow night.
I film an average of 3 or 4 bands every weekend. And most of the time I'm there for an hour to get a few songs and pick out the best one. I try not to ever put anything out there that's not going to make the bands look good. And
yeah, you kind of check with them first.
I check with them, and if I've ever put anything up that anybody wants removed, simple, just ask me to take it off, and I'll take it off. And I always run it by the people that are involved in the band before I post it.
Yeah,
before I share it. Anyway.
Yeah, because sometimes it's a bad venue. You know, it doesn't sound great. Or, I've done the same thing for years. I always recorded the band playing live. Yeah. And always had an arrow pointing down to whoever made the mistake.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, with me, it's also one of those things where, everybody has off nights.
Yeah.
I have a lot of them. I get video where the sound's not quite right or something, and I'm getting better at it, and I'm going to learn to do it the right way so I don't have those mistakes anymore.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah, we're human. I mean, for us playing every night, it's hard to be good every night.
I mean, yeah, and especially the ones that end up doing the same songs over and over again. You start getting bored with it, and you start, you make mistakes because you're not really paying attention after a while.
Yeah.
You're doing
what
zone out. You're so used to doing it. It's muscle memory, a lot of it, And
yeah.
That's fine. Everybody has an off night.
The big bands tour. They learn their set, and then they go around the country and play the same thing every night. So half the time they don't even know where they are.
Right. I've seen some really big bands go, hey, it's nice to be in Chicago when they're in Cocoa, you know? It happens.
Yeah.
But, it's just one of those
So it's harder for us, to change it up all the time, since we all play in within Brevard County. You could take the last set and put it first. And things like that. But to learn all these songs and try to be all these different bands is very hard.
One of the things that's really nice about Brevard County is you've got some of the best cover bands ever right here that are doing faithful reproductions. You've got cover bands that do reproductions with a little bit of embellishments thrown in, which are nice to see because you don't want to always see what you've heard on the radio 1,000 times.
Yeah.
And then you've also got an original music scene that's thriving right here in Brevard County too. And I'm just tickled pink. I put this county up, and most of the musicians that have moved here from out of town, some of them you've interviewed, they'll tell you straight up they love the music scene here.
Yeah.
And it should be documented. I don't want to see it disappear. Some of the performances I've captured should be saved for eternity.
Yeah.
That's the way I feel about it. You know,
and it will be.
And I'm
long
trying.
After you're gone, it's still going to be on YouTube.
Exactly,
so.
and long after a lot of these musicians I'm capturing are gone, because some of them are getting
and the
up
bands.
There. The bands
themselves break up all the time.
You know, I filmed one guy in 2 different bands this weekend, and I loved it. I mean, it was fun because he's having a good time, and you know, it's great. I love.
Yeah, I moonlight in another band.
Well, yeah, and I get to capture you when you're doing, you know, like the Star Spangled Banner deal. I captured you on, which is on the YouTube, by the way. Wearing Jimi Hendrix's original jacket from Band of Gypsies too. I got to say,
I was scared.
You know, that was a good.
And I held up the guitar and I hit the fan. That was
if you all watch that video, you watch that video, and about 2 minutes into it, Steve's got the guitar up and he hits the ceiling fan. That was classic. Yeah, that was good. I got to say,
nobody noticed. So I
got to say that was a fun day. Got to see some really good musicians.
Yeah, the Ghost Riders. Jimmy Sexton,
Steve Grisham, Barry Rapp, and the guys. Barry Rapp used to play with one of our local drummers who I captured last Wednesday night playing drums with another band. And I captured Barry Rapp doing this Southern Rock All-Stars. I said, "Hey, Barry said to tell you hey." And, you know, it's like, yeah, well, 2 days after you talked to him, I got a message from him on Facebook. I guess you reminded him about me and stuff, you know. It was cool. It's nice doing that. And
I've made a lot of friends, and plus the Cork Room is a really good bar out in Orlando. They want me to play there 2 weeks from now, so I'm probably going to do that.
Yeah, and I
don't know who's going to be.
I heard there may be a New Orleans. I heard there may be a New Orleans tour in store for GSTs.
Yeah, people around the country have been calling me and wanting the band, but I wish I knew how to set it up. I don't know how to be a booking agent.
We're working on that. On that.
I don't know.
I
don't know what to charge or anything.
Here's another side to what I do.
$1 million.
Here's a little side. Here's a little side to the video that I never thought about.
I need
before.
my mansion.
Yes. Yeah, and your Chevys. You know.
And my '57 Chevy.
Yeah, exactly.
Convertible.
But anyway, one of the side things to what I do is I found out this recently. One of my friends was looking to start another band. His band had gone their separate ways. Somebody had a work schedule that said they couldn't be there all the time and stuff. So they're looking for another band, and the guy says, "Well, I live in Sebastian, and I got a reply from some guy in Mims, and that's 65 miles of driving." He said, so I told him, I said, "If you want to see what we do, just go to this guy's webpage and look at what my old band was doing." The guy called him back, said, "I'm not really interested in that kind of style of music." So just because I went and videoed that band, somebody saved 4 hours of driving. You know?
Yeah.
To go see that they didn't want to play in that kind of band anyway. And I was like, wow, that's just the side of what I do that I never thought about before.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy doing
what I'm doing. A lot
of
people drop from my band because of all the band practices.
And I will be more than happy when
to me, I like having everybody over my house and just jamming.
And I got to tell you,
because then it's free. You know, it's like I feel free. I'm in my house, and there's the water. You know, whatever you want. You know, the nice water.
Yeah. and nobody hears
any nice people that come over.
And nobody hears any of the hairballs I throw in when I'm playing. You know.
Yeah. Then I can experiment. I don't have to play perfect. Yeah.
And your neighbors think, "Wow, that's an interesting twist to that song. I haven't heard him play it that way before." And you're going, "Yeah, what a screw up that was." You know. Most of the musicians I meet in this county are the kind of people. And this is why I do what I do. Somebody's down, they got kidney cancer, they've been in a motorcycle wreck, car accident, whatever happens. The musicians will all stand up and say, "Hey, we'll go play a benefit to help raise money for this charity or that charity." So I try and give back to the music community. It's easy. It doesn't cost me anything. I don't drink, so I go to the bar and I don't drink, so I go to the bar and all I do is drink soda. You know, it costs me $5 in my gas to go film these bands, and I love doing every minute of it. Like I said, I've captured stuff that should not be disappeared. It shouldn't be played and disappear into the ozone. Yeah. It should be played and documented.
Yes.
Like, you know, you'll get to see during this break some of the stuff that I've done.
Even documenting myself, when I was doing it myself, it made me better.
And I've got a friend.
I was actually able to see myself from the outside and things I was doing wrong and things I was doing right and fix it.
Right.
And the same thing with the other members of the band, they got to see. Because when you're playing, you're into what you're doing. You don't really hear what the singer's doing or the drummer. You're doing your own thing. But when you have it recorded and you can see it in front of you, you can see, you can see that as a whole.
You can see the
Instead of
performance
just-
when you're
yeah.
sticking your guitar in the ceiling fan. That's
Yes,
something you shouldn't be doing, you know.
I felt that. But it was all out of tune and everything, just like Jimi Hendrix's. And
That was a fun day. You sounded great. It was a good show.
Okay, we're going on break. We'll be back in a few minutes.
Thank y'all.
And right after the video, I don't know which one's playing. The Devil is Singing Our Song, which Scott Boggs recorded.
Right here at ISW, which is a great venue, by the way.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Livio Candy's Music All-Stars after this short break. welcome back to Livio Candy's Music All-Stars.
And you're up.
Welcome back to Livio Candy's Music All-Stars with Scott Boggs today. Oh, shaking your hand again.
I'll never watch it again. I just shook the hand of a guitar guy.
Oh, I just named myself that.
You know, ordinarily, Steve, people from New England always used to picture them having an attitude and stuff, but I've gotten to know you, and I really like you. You're a nice guy, and you're a hell of a guitarist, you know.
Oh, thanks. Well, you know, I'm sitting home playing all day.
Well, yeah, I know. Every time I get in the neighborhood, Steve, are you going to answer, or are you not going to be able to hear because you're jamming to something? This guy literally plays 6 hours a day, every day. Yeah. That's why he's the guitarist he is.
Yeah, for real.
Sometimes all night too.
Have Nick at Night TV playing classic.
I'm the classic. I got the TV set on with the Big Bang Theory playing. I got the jam tracks on so I could play guitar solos to it at the same
time. And the TV turned down.
And the TV on mute. But if something good comes on, I could click it on it. And then there's all the channels on the higher channels on TV that have classic rock, hard rock, heavy metal, jazz. I go through all that. And even when I play to the jam tracks, I rarely play the rock. I'm always playing the funk and jazz and everything like that.
Yeah, I just had the
I just like to play in that way.
I just had the opportunity to see one of my favorite jam bands at Wani, and that's Widespread Panic. Jimmy Herring's just a great guitarist. I love that band. They're fun. The crowd's usually a little rowdy for me, but I love the band and just fun stuff. You know, I had a good time at Wani. I got to thank the person who was responsible. Thanks, Lisa.
And down at Winfield, you got a band on there that was that did the Sissy Strut.
That is a bunch of seasoned pros that I've known for years,
and they were really
and they played. They've all played together really individually, but never all of them on the stage together like that before. They all got together, and it was seamless. And you know, BrevardMusicLover.com. I've gotten a lot of the bands in this county. I'm going to continue to get more bands to add to my site. And if you're getting ready to go out, check my site, see which band you like, look at Space Coast Live, and find out where they're playing, and go see local music, support local musicians, or they have to go away.
You also could come on this TV show, the concert series, which is Tuesday nights, and you play for 2 hours. You come in at 7 to 9, and you are worldwide, Greece, Italy. Everybody sees you.
Yep.
Just like this TV show. So it's a great thing to do. We did it the first one, and now each time it's been getting better and better lighting and everything.
And I was lucky enough to capture that show.
Yeah, and you got that show, and that's one of the videos from the show that we saw on the commercial break.
Yes. And my friends from another band are here to support me, and I'm really happy to see them. And maybe we'll get to see something that they do.
Yeah, it'll probably be in the next commercial break.
And I'll tell you, I've really
We'll have to say their name, Luna Pearl.
Luna Pearl, yes. Jody and Max are here.
They came down.
And y'all have seen Jody. You've seen Jody and Giorgio play on this stage before and do a really good job. And Jody was interviewed, did a very good job with her interview, and she's just they're just great people.
Why can't I have any girls on here to interview? I'm always stuck with the men.
No, Will's in the background. No, we don't want to have that.
Go out to the beach, pull some girls in here.
That's right.
JD, go get
JD, go get us a couple. But you know, this, like I said, this has been a labor of love. I've enjoyed doing what I'm doing. I'm still enjoying what I'm doing. Well, of course, with my school schedule coming up, it's going to be a little tough to get out for 3 and 4 bands a weekend. But, you know, it's easy to find me, BrevardMusicLover.com, Brevard Music Lover on Facebook, or Brevard Music Lover YouTube channel, and you'll find all that stuff. And, you know, it's...
Yeah, and keep posting it on Facebook, you know.
And if you like my Facebook page, then whenever I put a new band on, it'll automatically post to your page. And then you'll be able to see what the new band is and see if you like them, etc. Or you just, like I said, go to the site, surf, see what bands you like. You know,
go see them.
I try to get all genres. There's a few good country bands I still need to get. that I haven't really filmed in much country. I need to get some country, and I'll work on some of the originals soon. But right now, I'm trying to get the cover bands and the people that are out, helping to keep this county's music alive.
Yeah. And you'll be, we love you out there. We love that you're out there recording this, and
I can't.
It's making everybody really be good.
Yeah. And
it's better for the audience that the bands are really good now. I mean,
and I can't stress enough,
because I've recorded myself for the longest time.
Oh yeah, yeah. On the mini digital disc.
Yeah, you gave me one.
I gave you my old one. There, like that.
I'm still using.
Now you got two angles to see how you're screwing up, right?
Yep. And an arrow to point down who made the mistake.
That's right. But
and a frame around it. I got proof.
Like I said, I really enjoyed doing this. Like I said, most of the musicians are great people. The club owners that hire these bands because there's profit in it, because you're going to fill the place up. The better bands fill the places up, and the club owner makes money. He keeps hiring bands. The only way he makes money is for people to show up.
Yes.
And if you don't go and support your local music, it has to go away. And I also have to say something else. Earth Awareness has got the Space Coast Music Festival coming up. And Sue Luley started this organization, and we raise money to put music instruments directly in our elementary schools.
Wow, yeah. We had that as kids, but they don't have that now. That is a wonderful thing.
No, I heard the statistic was 50 cents per student per year in Brevard County for music and arts. And without us going in and direct the classroom, asking the teacher what music instrument she wants to teach the kids music, and supplying the instruments to the teachers, and not going through the school board and all of that, and having that money be misappropriated for something else. It goes straight into the classroom.
Yeah.
And this year, Mile Elementary and Merritt Island is getting the benefit of it. So.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm happy. Sue has put, between her and the tons of volunteers it takes to put this off, has put $70,000 to $80,000 worth of music instruments in local schools. Yes, that's an amazing feat.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be a part of that. I really am. And last year, Luna Pearl played. They played the after party, and you should have seen the jam. They had so much fun. They had the guys from the Cayman Islands up there playing with them, and it was just a fun night. And I tell you, those guys, High Tide from the Cayman Islands, came over here on their dime, played that benefit for our kids.
Wow, I didn't know
And
that.
they played well, and they were fun, nice men. And
wow.
Anybody wants to see a good band, look up High Tide, Cayman Islands. You will have a blast with it. Those guys are fun. They're good musicians, and it's different music. It's nice, to listen to something different every once in a while.
Yes.
I like going to see even the local bands. You'll see one of them doing disco now, 70s and 80s disco, and it's like, wow, done well.
Yeah, well, that's dance music.
Yeah, and the dance floor is full.
Yeah.
It's just like when Luna Pearl plays. They play their Pink Floyd and their originals and stuff, and then when it gets later and people are wanting to dance, they play the dance music, and they keep the dance floor full.
I have to learn how to do that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I keep playing the concert music.
I just can't see you playing the Bee Gees. I just can't see it,
I could try.
Yeah, you could try. But, this is fun. And
Casey and the Sunshine Band, maybe.
And I sit around in this studio
I like that.
now. I sit around. I've always been out there and never sat here. And I look
the
around
hustle.
and I tell you what.
Oh, this is a great place.
Class act. They're doing a good job. And
yes, and you could also, on the concert series, have your video recorded. And if you're a band that's not known and wants to go play in the bar, you have something, a DVD to give to the bar owner.
Right.
To prove, what kind of band you are. And if, so that's something to do.
And I am diligently working on being able to get multi-cam angles. I have the cameras. I just don't simply have the knowledge to be able to do it yet.
That's why you're going to school?
That's why I'm going to school. And when I get it where I can get a good audio feed and different camera angles, when the guy's playing the lead, you want the angle on the guitar lead.
And those little
recorders.
recorders.
I want the camera on Jody. I want to have multiple cameras, and it's in the works.
And the microphone setups are good
Right.
now.
Well,
all
yeah.
those little recorders with the X patterns
I
and
have
all that.
I have always been more about getting the audio captured right than the video, and now I'm getting good both. You know,
Yeah.
it's not excellent, but it's good on both ends.
Yeah.
And that tickles me pink because I've got some of my early recordings, and you can go also, if you search my channel, you can also go by date and look at the difference.
yeah,
and look at the difference in the quality of the video coming up and up and up.
Yeah.
You know, and I like that. I want it to be right.
Yeah.
And it will be one day. But I'm doing the best I can right now with what I've got, and I'm
And
enjoying
we'll
it.
keep practicing and making sure we're good, because if we see you there, we better be.
And I'll go to... And you know, recently I went to a band and I'd forgotten my microphone, and my onboard on the video camera works just fine. But I said, no, this band's just good. Put the camera back away and just sat and enjoyed watching the band. That's the first time I've done that without looking through the viewfinder in a long time. You know, it's like I said, I'm enjoying doing what I'm doing, and I'm trying to help our music community. And eventually, it's going to end up being some kind of a small business. You know, I'm going to end up doing promotions and stuff. But you know, right now, until I get really good at it, I'm not charging anybody anything for it. You know, pay me for my gas, my time, buy me my Coke, I'm happy.
And that's it.
You know, buy me my soda.
All
I'm
right.
happy.
Okay. We're going to be playing Luna Pearl's original song called Fly.
Exclusive on
Exclusive
ISW.
on ISW Studios. We'll be right back after this. Enjoy.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Livio Candy's Music All-Stars after this short break. Livio Candy's Music All-Stars.
You're on, buddy.
Welcome back to Livio Candy's Music All-Stars. So today we have John Hurt from Colorado. I met John Hurt up at the Tommy Bolin Fest a couple of years ago, but we've known each other longer than that, probably on Facebook.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we've known each other for a while. So it's cool to see you in the flesh.
Yeah, and get to jam with you.
Yeah, we had some good jams.
That fan jam was great.
It was really good. The place gets pretty packed. People are into it. The fan jams are really a blast.
I hope we get up there again this year. I'm trying hard. It's, costs a lot of money to get there.
Yeah, I know. I only do that kind of thing once a year for stuff I want to do. And the wife and I go to Vegas once a year in the Bolin Fest. That's my deal. So
Vacations.
yeah, getting out of Denver is a real big thing for me too, because I work so hard when I'm here. If I get out of Denver, I feel rock and roll again. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm trying to come to Denver.
Yeah.
I mean, because people are contacting me all the time for the band to come there and play. And I don't know if you know this guy, Scott Wingler or something like that, but he, is already sending money over to me to go there. And
It would be nice if you did.
I know, I would like to, but again, I don't know how to set this up. I need a booking agent.
We're working on that.
And roadies.
Well, I got a roadie.
Yeah, I got a roadie.
I got one.
He knows.
I have one too. It's me.
With you?
Yeah, I'm a roadie.
Well, I'm
So-
a roadie too.
Mm.
We all
So-
are when we play around here. That's how I stay skinny.
Yeah, we've had like 8 different reasons why you stay skinny.
What's the... I only know one.
Guitar gymnastics.
Guitar gymnastics.
Yeah, because I play the guitar all day. I guess I don't...
Yeah.
I forget about eating.
Yeah.
I think it slows me down.
Yeah, people seem to forget that John, that y'all have to take all your equipment, load it, take it into the club, not including all the time that you practice to get there.
Yeah.
It's not just a job of going in and playing your guitar and singing. It's a job.
Yeah, it's like an 8-hour day.
Yeah, it's an 8-hour day exactly, just to go play one gig.
Yeah.
When I would tour, if you sometimes an axle break on the truck, and you still need to make it to the town, and you'd get in there and be setting up while you're eating your cheeseburger. And then you couldn't even go shower. You just have to play 4 sets. And, oh, man.
Yeah, I know.
Living the dream.
Yep, but we keep doing it, and I love doing it. It's better than digging a ditch. That's what I always say to myself, what else would I be doing?
Most nights, the Wednesday nights when the bar is empty and there's 4 guys passed out, those nights I'd almost rather be digging the ditch.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Play it.
But those are the nights that I get the good videos.
Yeah, I was going to say, those are good nights for me shooting video.
Yeah, when nobody's there. But yeah, well, those are the Wednesday night gigs. There's not too many people out there like they used to be. But what is it like in Colorado with the bands playing in bars around there? Is there a lot of places to play, or?
Yeah,
I mean, everybody wants me to come there, but where do I go?
Yeah, act like yours probably would look at the Little Bear or Herman's Hideaway. I don't go out too much anymore. I got friends that play, and I end up going out to see them, and by the time we get there, the place would be packed. You'd have to stand against the back wall all night. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, I don't want to get there at 7 and wait 3 hours to see my friend's band, because I practice in the evening. Anytime anybody says, why doesn't John Hurt want to do anything? If it's nighttime, I'm going to be practicing. I practice before and after work. I don't get a gig, so I do 2 real serious practices, one before work and after work.
Yeah.
And so I don't go out a lot, but they're there are some places to play. It's not it seems like no matter where you go, the club scene's probably not what it used to be, you know.
Same here, you know.
Well, people got so much stuff they can do these days. You got distractions. Back in our day, you listen to music, what else would you do? You drive around and listen to music. You didn't have iPhones and texting and movies on demand and stuff. You know, there's a lot of distractions. But there's still bands booked here every weekend and stuff. I mainly, all my head's in my original music. It's been that way for a while. So studio is where I really do my spirit gets cut free.
Yeah.
And working like I'm working on a new album now. So the weekends, Saturday morning, I get in there real early and Lava Lamp goes on and just totally get work and hassles out of my head if I can.
Yeah.
But laying down tracks is serious business, so you got to wrench yourself into it.
Yeah.
But the new album's going good and stuff, so.
I can't wait to hear it. I mean, the
Yeah,
stuff that you've done already is really good with Wally up in...
Yeah, Wally and I have done 3 CDs. He plays drums and I do the guitars and bass. And if there's singing, we do a lot of instrumentals, but if they're singing, he'll sing some and I sing some. I'm kind of laying off the singing because I'm really trying to get my guitar as peaked out as I can.
Yeah.
And the new album, though, is going to sound different because instead of using pods and I usually plug in to record through like an emulator, like a pod or a Sans amp rack thing or something. But this time I'm using amp heads through an isolation cabinet.
Oh.
And so the tones on the last ones were more, if you plug into a pod, you can get like a real soaring guitar tone and your hands feel real loose and greasy. But I'm really right now listening to a lot of early ZZ Top and Montrose, and I like that real dry. The dynamics of a real amp are still the best if you like to turn your volume down a little and play with a lot of detail.
Yes.
The real amp's good, and so the stuff I'm doing right now, it's hardly any effects. I'm just recording 2 amp guitars with a little bit of stereo split. This is going to be the most stripped down of our 4 CD is going to be a lot more close to your speakers sounding real, like four guys in a room, even though it's me and Wally. But now we got David Givens on bass this time.
Wow.
From Zephyr.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you'd known that, but he...
well, I know who he is,
yeah. I started talking to him about a year ago or so about some other stuff, and we were talking about, he's in production like I am. So I sent him some of my and Wally's stuff for him to hear, to listen to for the production aspect to talk to, you know.
Okay.
I'm really I don't push stuff on people, so I didn't want to just say, here, listen to this. It was more like, how do you think this sounds? Because we both do production. You listen to it, he said, well, that was really cool. I really liked it. So Wally and I started a new album, and we said, well, maybe you'd like to play bass on one. Him and Wally are like this now. They really become good buddies. And Wally's a good drummer, and David likes his drumming a lot. And so we said to Dave, well, hell, you want to try and play on one of these just for fun? Because he's mainly been playing guitar. David is bassist in Zephyr with Tommy Bolin and Candy Givens, and he hasn't been playing much bass. He plays guitar. His wife's a real good jazz singer, like a Billie Holiday kind of jazz.
Oh.
And like late 50s classic woman singer jazz. And so he says, well, I haven't been playing much bass, but it sure sounds fun, because he liked the material. And after he did the first one, he said, that was really cool. But at the time, he was really busy with a job project and his wife's album, and he wanted to do more tunes, and he would do one like every once a month or so. We'd get another track back from him. But once he got clear of the trouble, he's been doing a track every 3 weeks or so.
Wow.
With his schedule, it's really hard. Plus, he's got to listen to the tune and learn the arrangement and stuff, you know what I mean? Yeah. He works in computer programming, and he's really digging it. Though right now, the way we feel is we are a band. It's a different band than just John Hurt, Wally Z brand name. You know what I mean? and we're still kind of debating on what we're going to call ourselves. But David's, they can hear from the first tune that he played bass on to the last one he did. He's really going to be featured on this. Unlike Wish That Vintage Guitar or Bass Player Magazine or somebody would do an interview, because with recording with the Bolin and stuff like that, he's, it's the album they did in New York with Eddie Kramer. David's got enough of a CV that he can maybe get in a Bass Magazine, but he's really going to stand out. And I'm not mixing the guitars. A lot of me and Wally stuff, the lead guitar track would end up kind of dominating everything else. But in this one, you can hear all the instruments, which is just going to be two guitars, bass, and drums.
Yeah.
And but you can hear David's bass, and there's some ass-kicking bass on here.
Wow.
I got some kind of fusion-y. It's not as fusion-y as my normal stuff. It's more like rock, although there is some few slower, prettier kind of. You can't quite say ballad, but I like movie music. Like when you're watching a movie and there's a scene, there's background music. I like that kind of music a lot. And then we also might get, Wally had been in a band up in Canada called Osgood Slatter. It was a real good, they could have been on MTV. They did originals and were on TV up there and festivals and stuff. And one of their singers heard some of our stuff, and he might do our singing for us on 4 or 5. We're going to probably have 4 or 5 vocal tunes. So it's going to be different than our other 3.
Well, then that would be like a full band if you have him as a singer, and you could probably actually go out and play these songs.
Yeah, that's another thing about this particular batch of material. This would be the easiest for us to do out live.
Yeah.
Because the way I'm writing this stuff, both the rhythm guitar and the lead guitar, most of the solos are pretty. You know, the Tommy Bolin, like you told me, you love me. That solo on there is just like Comfortably Numb. You can sing it after you've heard it a few times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Solos on this are more, on some of my other ones, I would write half composed to their solo and then just go ape shit on the rest.
Yeah.
You know, and like play enough that you get in the groove and then put the hammer down and take 5 takes and pick the hottest. This one's doesn't have as much jam, and this is more like I hate to say commercial music because we always go like the commercial music, but how many bands from the early 70s had stuff you love to hear over and over? And it was because Sweet Home Alabama, Ed King's guitar solo is definitive. You know?
Yes.
So I'm trying to do definitive solos on this. And this could be, I practice at night and I can play the solo I'd laid down that afternoon. I can remember, you know what I mean? As opposed to some of my stuff when I really just start going all over and improvising.
Yeah.
It's taken half a day to learn it, you know.
Because go back and learn it. Yeah.
You know, so, but working with David, I mean, tell you, you never know how things are going to end up. Me being a Bolin fan and a major influence on me when I started back in '74, I've played with a bunch of guys now that have played with Tommy. But as far as getting to know him and stuff, like I say, David and me and Wally right now, it's like a band. David's totally into it. He's been loving the hell out of it. And to get to present him back instead of playing world music, you know, like whenever they always act like, oh, we're going to be mature, you're going to do world music, or we're going to do some jazz. You know, jazz guys been pissing on me my whole life, you know. I'm like, I used to go play jams in college in '78. There'd always be some jazz guy going like that. I nailed his face. I was young and mean, you know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm chilled now. You know, I had 22-year-old muscles. I'm 57 now. But I used to like to just hammer those guys. So when we bring David back, it's going to be with some pretty freaking rock, you know.
Yeah.
And
with catchy songs, you know.
Yeah.
A commercial type of, that's what I'm going for. I want everybody to like it. I don't want.
Yeah, it's. I think it's distinctive sound and stuff. Though David said one of them's got kind of a Latin beat, and he goes, "Man, I've never heard anybody have that Latin beat with a rock side." He said, "I've never heard anything quite like that." But once he got the groove to it and stuff, his bass part's phenomenal, and he really dug it.
Wow.
Writing has been kind of how I've been able to pull people together. When I started back in '74, and I started writing about 3 or 4 years later, and David and me have a interesting thing. Back in '81, I was playing a lot with a studio drummer named Ken Lark, I go to the studio on the weekend, and we'd have a bass player and another guitar player or not. This guy had some bowling picks on his walls I'd never seen. This was before was Tommy's dead years, when he was, they were around 81. Tommy's awareness of bowling was really low, you know. Yeah. So he had some pictures of Tommy, and I'd be going, wow, that's really cool. But this drummer was playing the drums on Zephyr's Heartbeat album with Eddie Turner on guitar. At the same time, I was jamming with this drummer. So this drummer would drum with me in the afternoon and then go over in the evening to play with Zephyr. And I had met David at that point. I didn't meet him till a Zephyr gig at Mercury Cafe one time. And so I played way back in 81. I was playing with a guy because David was in Colorado at the time. So we had something in common way back then we weren't aware of till a couple years ago. It's kind of neat to me. I'm really into the way things thread together, you know what I mean? This guy knows that guy, and you both know each other, and go, wow, you know him? How'd that happen? That kind of stuff's really cool.
Yeah.
To me, you know. Yeah, so
I think it's really great that it's almost going to be like a full band thing that you're going to be able to actually play. And maybe, how long do you think it's going to take you to get this done? Will you have it done by the Tommy Bowling Fest? You know?
I contacted a guy to do the mastering on it, and he's I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to jinx it, but everyone's going to go, you know, just like I can't believe it, you know. But I contacted the mastering guy and sent him a couple of our tracks that are rough mixes that are of the new stuff. He says, yeah, I like your band, I'll do you. When you hear who it is, you'll either want to buy me a beer or go. But anyway, I told him it'd be October. And that I like to give a longer estimate than a shorter one, because if you announce something and then you're late and you keep having to. We've got 5 tunes I've got that are going to be instrumentals. I've got leads done. David's done with 9 out of 12 bass parts, so he's off the hook for 9 of the 12. And the singer could catch us up real quick. We got 2 of the tracks are done except for vocals. And so we're more than halfway done, but the main thing is that we're really bearing down on it now, and David Givens in particular is able to get stuff turned around a little bit faster. I don't think we're going to make the fest, unfortunately, but it'll be kind of fairly in the fall. Okay. And I'm going to look at promoting this one a little bit more. In the past, whenever I get done, I'm always so tired, I just go back to what I was doing and put them out there and announce it once and go back to my thing, you know what I mean? But this one, I think I might try and look at an ad in vintage guitar and a few things like that.
On this show, too.
Yeah.
You can have it on commercials in between.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, it'll be seen worldwide. Like we are right now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Hello in Greece. Italy. I don't know any other countries.
Belgium.
Greece and Belgium.
Frank
Bases.
Frank Bases.
Shout out to Frank.
Hey, Frank.
But we do have a worldwide audience, and this is the perfect way, you know, to get out there with new music. I'm going right upstairs, and I'm going to be recording my music in the recording studio up here.
Are you working on an album originals pretty soon?
All originals. Yeah, I already have the demos of them, you know, that I made at home on a mini disc recorder I have at home. And I'm going to go up here with the Pro Tools and do, you know, a regular album. And I'm going to do it the same. I have a couple of different singers and stuff like that, too. I'd like to have just one singer. But we're prepared to go and tour on these songs. Plus, I have so many offers to get behind other bands, you know, and go out on a tour. So, thanks. I just need a booking agent. I think I found one. So I get a lot of offers, and I don't know what to do with them because I'm not savvy with the booking agent part of it. So. But I'm going to put together an album of songs I've been working on for a long time, and I've had done for a while as demos. A few of them I have on Reverb Nation, and I'm just going to re-record them and make them sound good.
I haven't heard those. I'll have to check them out, as I haven't heard very many originals that you've done. You play a lot.
One sounds like Triumph. One sounds like Led Zeppelin. You know, they got elements of classic rock in all the songs.
Yeah.
You know, something familiar about it, but it only just something rubbed off on me. You know, from listening to these bands and learning these songs, or just having it, you know.
Influences.
Yeah. So they come out, because I do play a lot, you know, the cover songs, so. Yeah. But mostly Tommy Bolin. Nobody even knew who Tommy Bolin was until I played him. Now everybody researched Tommy Bolin, and we already started playing different songs, like, to get more jobs, you know, like Night Ranger and all those songs and stuff like that. And then people are coming saying, "Where's the Tommy Bolin songs? We came here to see the Tommy Bolin. We researched Tommy Bolin to figure out who he was, and now we want to hear you play him." So, you know, I'm still playing a lot of those.
Where's the applause?
Yeah, Tommy Bolin. Oh, not laughing. So when we do the worldwide show, they go over very well, because a lot of people know him worldwide, but in the town, in the neighborhood town, people don't know.
You know, I know more people out of Colorado now than I do. You know, it's like I doing the bowling stuff on my end. I know more people probably in Australia than I do in Colorado right now. You know, I've been doing the bowling archive stuff since 2002. It's coming up on 12 years. So all the guys I used to hang with, I'm off doing this other stuff, and kind of friendships can kind of wither, or guys move away and die. I've lost friends.
Yeah. Well,
and you, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've lost a lot of friends too.
Yeah.
Talking about influences, I noticed the Beatles anthology sitting next to you.
Oh yeah, my wife got me this for Christmas.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's a good influence there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They know all the chords.
And
all the chords.
That new Jimi Hendrix. The People, Hell and Angels. It's got like stuff he was doing with Buddy Miles and Billy Cox. It's got a couple really, really good. The whole thing is really listenable, but a couple of tunes really. I got to have this for a couple of things on here. And then Shuggy Otis. You ever heard of Shuggy Otis? Strawberry Letter Number 23. Brothers Johnson did it. He does like R&B funk, but kind of like Prince before there was Prince.
Oh.
But it's more. You try and sell you Shuggy Otis here. What else can I pick it? Doors, LA Woman.
Oh yeah, I got that one.
Great album.
Guitar Techniques.
Ooh.
From James Taylor, I guess that's a good influence. That's a good person to teach you guitar techniques.
Little shout out to Ed Mundell. I jammed with Ed Mundell at the last Bowling Fest, and it was sweet.
Yeah, I didn't make the last one, but
yeah, Ed Mundell and his wife Karen was there. She's cool. She works on special effects on movies like Titanic and stuff. So we're all like this, and here's his wife. You know, she's a star. But Ed Mundell was a good guy to jam with. We fit in around each other the way you and I did. You know,
yeah.
When you and I jammed, I thought we were complimenting each other really well. Sometimes it's like
fighting against each other. I know.
Yeah, right.
And usually if somebody's trying to overplay over me, I'll just back off, because they're not really playing, you know. They're just showing off or whatever. Yeah. I think we're on break. Okay.
See if you can come on in another couple of weeks.
Can you come back on in another couple of weeks?
Sure.
Okay.
If you think I was worth it, why don't you guys watch a film and go,
we're going to have you back.
I don't know.
And tell us how it's going with the album in a couple of weeks.
Will says 2
Hopefully,
weeks. Yep.
2 weeks.
Playing a little guitar.
So we'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay.
I'll see you. I'll talk
Let's
to you.
start out with Ode to G. Dare, dare, dare.
We forgot to put that one on.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for your time.
Thanks for your time. There he goes. We still see you.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Livio Candy's Music All-Stars after this short break.
Telephone is ringing. You got me on the run. I'm driving in my car now. Anticipating fun. I'm driving out of you, yeah. I guess you couldn't see, yeah. But you were under my wheels, honey. Why don't you let me be? When you call me on the telephone, say, take me to the show.
back to Livio Candy's Music All-Stars.
Those are fast seconds.
You're up, man.
All right.
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
I'm one big pile of wires here, but welcome back. Luna Pearl.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, Jody said something earlier about
My new booking agent.
yeah. Well, they stay pretty booked, so they probably have some time to book other people. So, yeah, Jody said something earlier about, you meet friends and they end up being family. I feel that way about these guys. I just enjoy being around them. We all have a laugh. I can name at least 2 or 3 times I've had Jody spitting her drink through her nose and stuff laughing,
We get that on. You got it on camera? Is that on video? No.
No, I did not get that on camera. What I do get, however, is a lot of good video, and I like I said before, I enjoy doing this. I think it's a good way to give back to the community. And, we do that Space Coast Music Festival to raise money to put music instruments in the schools, and they have bands lined up wanting to do that. That's because most of the musicians are those kind of people.
Yeah.
They give to their community.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize what these bands do. They spend all day, 3 or 4 days a week practicing, or like you, 6 hours a day practicing to learn. Then they load all their gear up from their warehouse or their house. They go to the club. They spend an hour and a half setting their gear up. They play, in some clubs, a 5-hour set,
I know.
4-hour set, 5-hour set. Then they pack all their stuff up and go home for little or nothing.
Yeah.
When you average it out, they're not making any money.
No. Enough to get something to eat
Enough
on
to
the way
get something
home.
to eat on the way home, pay their gas to get there. But it's a labor of love.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons I'm so into the earthawareness.org, by the way,
Yeah.
because those children that are growing up with music instruments in their hand will be the ones that are the future generations that are playing music for us for little or nothing, unfortunately.
Yes.
And I'm
Well,
glad
some
to
of
be
them
a part
will be
of it.
millionaires.
Some of them, hopefully 1 out of a million of them will make it big. And I think they all deserve to make it big because I know what y'all put into it.
Yeah. Put a lot of work into it.
And going to the club and shooting the videos is not much for me. Sitting down, taking the time to edit them all out is a whole nother ball game. That's just time consuming.
That's what took me a long time on mine.
Yeah,
so,
and fortunately, I got somebody else recently and chatted with them on the computer and walked them through the software I'm using, and now she's able to do the movies and title them and stuff like I do.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. You have a nice title in the beginning,
right?
Who's in the band at the end?
And eventually, when I get to where I can afford Pro Tools and a computer that's got a whizzing fast processor in it, I'll be able to do all that stuff a lot better and faster, a lot fancier. But what I'm using now does the job. And like I repeat, it's simple. If you want to see the band before you actually go to the club, look at spacecoastlive.com. It lists all the bands by band name, by genre, by geographical area where they're playing. It's a great place. And when you're at a club watching a band, pick up Brevard Live magazine, take a look at who's playing through there.
Yes.
Definitely, that it's all right there at your fingertips to go find the bands you want to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, BrevardMusicLover.com, Brevard Music Lover on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you can see the bands live.
And you can see
before
them.
you even go and see them. And you can see them here, too, on the concert series on Tuesday night.
And a lot of the bands I captured will be and have been here on the concert series.
More and more.
I was lucky enough to be here for your first show here.
It was the first one ever.
Capture video that day. And that's what you were watching, the Don't Tell Me You Love Me.
Yeah.
That was one I captured right here on this stage with you all playing. And it was just a great performance.
Thanks.
I
was scared.
It's different having all these cameras pointed at you.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And everything was very bright. Usually in the bar, it's all dark. You can't see nothing. You can't even see yourself.
And I like a lot of people, I always took the local music scene for granted up until around 1990 when I was working at Port Canaveral, and I'd get off of work and I'd walk over to, and everybody that's watching this will know what I'm talking about, I'd go over to Mr. Bill's and watch the Groove Monsters. And I walked in and saw Dave Feaster and Austin and Mark and Bill and all them playing, and I was like, wow, this is it. Yeah. This is what I've been missing, not going to the local clubs. These guys are great. And I was not even really hip to the music they were playing. I didn't know any of it. Yeah. And it was all new to me, and I was like, wow. You know, when Feaster would get up there and fire up Phone Booth or Blues Man, it was just like, wow, these guys are on it.
Yeah, it didn't matter what they were playing. They just sounded good, and they were good musicians.
Like I said, on the anniversary of his death, I was just going,
I saw the videos of him. I never knew that guy.
One guy managed to get out there to Surfside and capture some good video of Dave. And that's the only video, besides the stuff that he was doing when he was playing with Henry Paul Band, you know, that's available. I mean, that's it. And I don't want that to happen to somebody else that spent their life learning their trade. You know, it's like I said, it's a labor of love, and I enjoy doing it.
Things are different today, and things can be recorded. You know, it started back with the video cameras. You know,
right
now we're really.
Well, yeah.
Things are set up for bands to be played live, like those little recorders with the XY.
Exactly, that little Zoom microphone that I use. You know, I have the Zoom X2.
Gives you a perfect stereo sound. If you're right in the middle, you'll get the bass on the left.
And that's one of the challenges I face is finding the proper place to put the microphone. And you know, I'll lose a song or two
and
trying to set it up.
And that's what you probably learn in college. You know, the mic placements.
Mic placements, exactly. The acoustics of the room, and all rooms are different.
Yes.
You know, all sound systems are different, and like I said this before too, I can only capture what's coming out.
Yeah.
And even if I plug right into somebody's board, I can only capture what their mix is. I can't fix the mix, which I want to learn.
Yeah, I know you.
Which I want to learn.
I mean,
to be able to do
enhancements, but
yeah. You can go in with an EQ and the right frequencies and bring up some of the
unless
stuff.
everything's on a separate track or something like that. There's really nothing.
But like
you just got to play good. You know?
You like to watch the one I got at Kenny Cohen and Friends. The bass drum is just heavy in it. The bottom end is really heavy in it. Well, that was simply because I was limited with an arena-sized sound system to get my microphone up high enough where it was picking up the horns too. In retrospect, I should have had it back at the board. You know, I should have. But then you've got people standing around the board talking.
Yeah.
So you know, it's a challenge to get the, you know, it's a challenge to get it. And I also want to thank all those people that have been watching these bands like Luna Pearl and looking at my back, standing there with the camera in my hand. I appreciate the patience because I'm really trying to do the right thing here. Okay, I'm trying to do a good thing for our music community because they are who they are.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, you know, I'm local. I grew up in Satellite Beach. My dad was a rocket scientist. You know, my mom still lives in the same house that I grew up in. Hi, Mom. Happy Mom's Day. A couple days late.
Hello, Mom.
You know, I grew up here. I went to Delora Junior High School. Went to Merritt Island High School right out of Delora. My dad remarried to somebody that lived in Merritt Island. So I'm a local product of Brevard County. Oh. You know, and a lot of these guys that I see playing, I went to high school with. And one of them that plays locally, I went to high school with his dad. You know, you know, it's funny, and you know, there's a couple of really good young and up and coming musicians in this county too, and they're polishing their act, and they're out playing, and
that is the best thing, because then they get to jam with the other guys, and you learn when you go out and play and jam with other people, you get better.
And when I could take
I can stay in the house all the time, and
when I could take an 18-year-old kid and put him on stage in a band in a jam situation like you do on occasion, you go out and jam with other musicians. Well, he learns the dynamics of the band. He learns to pass the baton, let somebody else play. It's constantly learning.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the dynamics. I love seeing the young guys get on stage with seasoned musicians. Because these seasoned musicians, you can get 10 of them that have never played together, put them on stage, and they play something, and it sounds half decent because they all pretty much know it. Even if they don't know the song, it still comes out. You know, it's a good jam
everybody
session.
knows how to play good.
Yeah, everybody knows how to play well.
Yeah.
And they do their parts. You know, and I enjoy actually seeing some of those jam sessions because, you know, like a friend of ISW, Jack Starr, he's famous for showing up and playing with people.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a
And
great
he's
guitarist.
from Long Island, from where I am.
Well, I won't hold that
from
against.
there.
I won't hold that against him.
Hold it against him, Dan.
But yeah, Jack's a really nice guy too. I like
Yeah.
Jack, and you know, and look what Will's doing here. He's got this beautiful studio here. You know, the TV studio. He's got a top-notch studio up here. He's out here trying to help our music community and get it out to the world too.
Yes.
And we appreciate. Yay, Will!
Yeah. Mr. Will. Yeah.
And, yeah. GS teaser, most definitely. You know, I had a conversation with Steve when we were on the way over for him to play the Star Spangled Banner for the Ghost Rider Southern Rock All-Star Show. I said, you know, Steve, you can be a master at promoting yourself, but if you don't have the chops, you're never going to go anywhere. And Steve has the chops. Man can frickin' play a guitar, okay?
Thanks.
You know, I love watching you play. I enjoyed being here for that GS teaser. You know, it was just a great day. And, you know, I love going out to see my friends, Luna Pearl. There's all kinds of good bands, like I say. And we've got all genres in this county.
Yes.
From original. I mean, there's even a local band that's doing bagpipe music that's good. You know, they've got a bagpipe in their
I gotta
band.
see them. We'll have them on the show.
They're
What's the name of them?
Kilt the Messenger,
Okay.
yes. You know, there's a bunch of good bands that are out here that are doing different stuff. I mean, I watched a guy with a lead guitar and a drummer just put on a great entertaining show. It was just different.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the drummer's not here anymore, and he was a good drummer. I wish he was still in town because I know some people that could use a good drummer right now. And it's also nice that I know all the musicians, and I get a chance to, you know, if somebody has somebody's sick or mom's in the hospital and they need to fill in. Hey, you got a night, you can come in and fill in with these guys. And it happens, and it's great. You know, to be able to do that for people. You know,
that's pretty cool, man.
It's fun. I've been to see a lot of good shows lately. I got to say, I really enjoyed that All-Star Jam with all the old seasoned professionals last week at Winfield's. In Satellite Beach.
I enjoyed it too, watching it on your videos.
That's good. It's fun.
Are
Like
they
you said,
going to be there
Sissy
every
Strat.
Wednesday?
The basic part of the band will be there every Wednesday.
Okay.
And they're fun, and you know,
And everybody could go down
half
there
those
and jam
guys
with these guys.
Half those guys have recorded right here too.
Oh.
Yeah, half those people there have actually been in Will's studio and done some recording, and I can't wait for it to get released.
He ain't paying attention.
Yeah, but like I said, you know, there's been a lot of those guys that sit there in that jam session that have been right here in the studio recording, and I can't wait to hear what they've done. You know?
Okay, we had a great show today, and
thanks, y'all.
Thanks for coming, Scott Boggs. Thanks, Luna Pearl, for coming down and seeing us.
Thank you for the support,
Thanks,
everybody. Joe Mercurio's here.
And we'll be back next week.
Thank you. Thanks, all. Support local music.
And thank you, John Hurt, for being on Skype.
Yes.